met Jarrod when I came here to his house to visit Special, my horse. We just came to say hello to her, and then before we left, Jarrod came out to introduce himself.
Over the next few weeks, Kathy and Jarrod became friends and started spending some time together. And then about a month later, Kathy moved to Sydney. Kathy and Jarrod kept talking to each other on the phone, were occasionally visiting each other, and we're spending a lot of time talking about what Kathy's beliefs were about the Bible and about God and his role in her life.
And I suppose I continued to pray for him. I bought him a Bible and some books with Mum.
When Kathy was home from Sydney, Jarrod indicated that he would be quite happy to come along to church. So we were praying about that, and as part of that I was talking to Roger, and I mentioned that Jarrod might be visiting and that it would be really good if people could look out for him and welcome him and engage with him in that way.
I met Jarrod at night church, and we worked out that we attended the same uni, a couple of decades apart, and so we got talking about uni life and college life and things like that. It was good. I asked him if he'd like to read the Bible with me, and he agreed, and we started reading Mark's Gospel together on a Monday morning. And I could see pretty early on that Jarrod had come to understand that Jesus is the King, the Lord, and that he'd received the forgiveness of his sins in Jesus' name.
It really first started back in Armidale, where I was for uni, with my friend Caleb, who had been asking me for about a year if I wanted to come and see his church and, you know, start to know Christ a little better. And I suppose I really shrugged it off and didn't think too much of it. But it wasn't really till I came home for the holidays and I met Kathy that I got talking to her and really started to hear, you know, who Jesus was and just what he'd done. And it was her conviction and the way she spoke. There was just this strength in it that I was taken aback by it. And, you know, from that moment, I had this, you know, desire to really come to know Christ like she knew him, and I wanted that sort of thing in my life. I wanted something that sure and that positive.
It was very rewarding and very encouraging to see that whilst I didn't do very much and I probably wasn't very good at it, it paid off.
I can see now that God was working through people and all these little events to bring me to him, and it just shows the way that God works isn't always clear, but it's always there.
One of the things I've seen afresh with Jarrod's story is that God uses lots of different people, often in different places, to help people come to know Jesus.
I suppose at the time it's really exciting to watch God working in people's lives, and to know that even though the role we play may be quite small, and sometimes we don't even see it come to fruition, but just by being faithful and talking about Jesus and God and his love for us, that God can use that to bring people to himself.
Yes, I suppose the important thing to remember is you may not see the results of what you're doing straight away. I mean, I had a friend asking for a year if I wanted to come to church, and sometimes, you know, you don't get immediate results, but you have to keep at it, because in the end you're bringing someone to know Christ. And I can tell you right now that, you know, it's worth it, because to that person you can change their life.